After 8 months of waiting, it was finally time for the first round of the Enduro World Series at the EWS Tweed Valley. For the first time ever, the series started in the venue it finished the previous year at, but with blue skies and sunshine, southern Scotland suddenly felt like a much faster place to be. 42.5 kilometres of racing awaited the amassed pro ranks on Sunday across 1,800 vertical metres of climbing and 5 stages. Racing had already kicked off with Saturday evening's pro stage. It was a stage which had decided last year's championship and seemed determined to serve up some more drama this year. In the pro women's race, Isabeau Courdurier looked ominously fast. The French national champ took the win and the points by a slender margin from Scotland's Ella Conolly. The reigning champ Melamed was down in 11th, 10.5 seconds off the pace. Another champion in trouble was Jack Moyer. The big Aussie crossed the line in 38th, but the headline news from the pro men's field was that it would be the local ripper, Innes Graham, who would clock the fastest time, and who would then start Sunday last to drop. Jesse Melamed was second, and Sam Dale was third. The stages were waiting. It was time to go racing once again in the Tweed Valley. Cannondale's Conolly was clearly in no mood for hanging around. Ella won on the first stage of Sunday. Last year's winner Bex Baraona aboard her new Yeti was on the move too, second on the stage and into second in the overall. Baraona's teammate Casper Woolley had a huge crash on the opener, which forced at first a course hold on the stage and then a red flag. The stage was cancelled. The pro men's race was now a 5-stage affair. The top 3 remained locked together at the front of the pro women's race after the third stage. Baraona's lead was now under 0.2 of a second from Conolly as the heat began to intensify. In the pro men's race, Yeti's Richie fought his way into third place. With Innes Graham in second. And Jesse Melamed taking the stage win. The Queen stage awaited. Points lay at the finish for those willing to risk claiming a victory on the toughest test of the weekend. The juggernaut was now getting up to speed. Richie won again on Big Baw. Nuke-proof SRAM's Dan Brooker continued a stellar weekend, with second just ahead of his teammate Elliot Heap. Bex Baraona was into the lead of her home race. Just like in 21, the Innerleven local was coming on strong right at the perfect moment. She was stretching her lead, but it was still only 0.3 of a second. Racing in Scotland, Ella Conolly won the 5th stage of the day. That put her into control of the race for the first time. Was a debut victory now on the cards? Jesse Melamed went fast here in the wet 8 months ago. In the dry, he was pushing his riding to the next level. He won stage 5, but Rude, the race leader, was right behind him. One stage remained. Did the Tweed Valley have one last twist to serve up? Isabeau Courdurier rode consistently all weekend and was rewarded with a trouble-free, confidence-building run to the podium in third. Bex Baraona needed a big performance to make it 2 from 2 in Scotland, but it just wasn't meant to be. Bex would leave round 1 happy with a second spot and plenty of points. With her first ever EWS win hanging in the balance, you could have forgiven Ella Conolly for letting the pressure get to her. But she's been racing long enough to know that the best way to seal a victory is with a victory. She smashed her way to first place on the final stage to take her first ever EWS victory on home soil and Cannondale's first since 2014. Ella Conolly, your first ever EWS win. Can you believe it yet? Has it sunk in?
No, I'm still in absolute shock. Oh my god. I haven't looked at the times all day. I've heard like murmurs of other people and other people speaking, and everyone is saying like great job, like a bit more enthusiastic than usual. So like, I don't know, I thought it might be quite good, but yeah, I didn't expect this.
In the men's race, all eyes turned to Ennisgraham. The young local had held his own all day long and was closing in on his maiden EWS podium. He made it an all-Scottish final stage sweep, taking the win on the same stage he'd tasted victory on the day before. Jesse Melamed was 4th on the stage, but had done enough to earn a hard-fought 2nd in the overall. But there was little doubting the sense of redemption felt by Richie Rude as he crossed the line to open his win account for the season. Jack Moyer ended the day in 26th. If 2022 is to evolve into the chess match of the previous season, it's very much first blood to Richie. First win of 2022, how was that one for you? Bit of redemption up there?
Yeah, definitely. Like last year I was so keen to race all these tracks and kind of all I wanted to do last year, and yeah, it was a great time out here, just like dry tracks, tight trees, so you're just so focused, and yeah, some of the tracks are like just so fast, and I was like, oh man, rebound's so quick, just like bouncing on big ball and stuff, and yeah, it was pretty wild.
The overall standings then pretty much mirror that of the opening race of the year. Conolly and Rude will have the yellow plates when we head to round 2. And yet a take to the top of the team's championship and the top step of the podium. And that is it from a hectic start to the Enduro World Series from sunny Scotland. And there are 2 bits of good news. There's not long to wait before we get to do it all over again, and you'll be getting 2 countries for the price of 1 when we go to Pets in Jamnica in Austria and Slovenia in just 2 weeks' time. And on top of that, this Tuesday across all our channels we'll have a brand new show for you, the EWS Show, where we dissect this race in detail and check out all the biggest news and tech from the EWS Tweed Valley. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you there.